Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be putting on and putting to the test the new Makeup Forever foundation. They sent it to me in this PR box. Let me show you what it looked like. Can you see that? Hopefully y'all can see. And this comes with, I just smacked my microphone. This comes with clay. They want me to be an artist and sculpt. I saw this because at first I thought it was a sponge. I was so confused. Look at this. Ciao. Anyway, I got shade 476 neutral umber, and shade 474 warm olive bronze. They sent 2 concealers. I'm going to try one of them and see. I'm going to try the darker one of these because it's a concealer I already love using. I use it so much. Y'all can't see, like you see the residue here. Can you even see that? You see all the remnants here, but really this is where the concealer is at. And this shade is 4N71. The 2 shades I got in the newer color, I'm still trying to figure out, from the last video. I'm using a different camera and the lighting keep going in and out. It's not even on auto, it's on manual. So I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna get it together. Just forgive me with the in and out lighting. Anyway, the shade I love using right now, like I said, is 4N71. I have here 4N68 and 4R64, which this is what they look like compared to like my one. You can see. And then I have another one that I haven't used that much. It's the darker. I mean, I've used it, but because you can see here. I love this concealer. So this is the one I use all the time and it's almost done. This is the darkest one I have. Let me tell you what that is. 4N74. Yeah, so 4N74 is the darkest one that I have. And I'm sure I'll just mix it in with one of these lighter ones. But I'll try to use one of the lighter ones on... What shade do I want to use? I'll use 4N68 because it's the darker of the 2 that they sent. And I'll swatch the one I always use. I'll swatch them both and see how bright I want to go with my under eye. Because I still got to go to work. I'm not trying to look crazy. Maybe in another video we can compare this foundation. I'm looking and I think this is my shade. I don't got time to be messing around this morning. I do like the bottle. It's just like their logo. Also it came with a sponge, but I'm not going to use this right now. I already have my own sponges wet, so in another video, I'll tell you guys how soft or how good that is. And shout out to Makeup Forever because as an artistry brand and as an artist myself, it's a brand that I use for my personal use and in my kit. However, this is like the 5th iteration of this foundation. The first one was perfect. The second one was perfect. I don't know if I saw a huge difference. I can't even remember what those were like, but let me show you guys. Here, and I use it enough, but this is the previous version and this is the newer version. So I think this color is actually, no, wrong thing. Is that the same? Oh, it is. That's why it looks the exact same. No, because my one that I have is the same shade of my concealer. It's the darkest concealer I have. 4N74 is right. Is the darkest shade of concealer. I said I didn't use. Yes, it is. So that's what I use for my foundation before this new one, but they kind of look similar, no? Well, this I'll say is has a little warmer tone to it. Anyway, child, um, that's not what I planned on using today. Anyway, I'm going to use 4, 7. It's a lot of numbers. 476 and umber. But maybe in another video we can test these two together. I like that they still keep the cap on, but I just and this is what the newer one looks like. This is what the older cap looks like. Like same shade, same. It feels the same. Um, do we have the same amount of foundation? Because let me open the top and see. This looks like the older version was more. Look at that. Y'all see that? This it doesn't have it on here. I'm gonna look it up online and I'm gonna try to find. Does it have it on here? How much fluid ounce it is since I don't have the box. This is 1.01 fluid ounce. The older version. This peels. And this is just 1 fluid ounce. Maybe it's the bottom, maybe it's something, but let's get started. I want to swatch both for you guys, but I already know I'm gonna use this. I want to see what that's like. Well, I say I already know I'm gonna use that as if I know. What if the other one? No, this is my shade. Yeah, I can see. Okay, let's do a little swatch. I'm gonna do closer to here so y'all can see if it covers my birthmark, and then blend it out. Let me use this. That's a beautiful blend to me. And then the shade that I just used here, or that I just swatched, is 476 and umber. And then I'm gonna do bronze on the other on top of it so you can see. Like you can see that that's lighter, and I knew that was gonna be lighter. So I already knew that. I just want y'all to see though. So this top part is bronze, and this is umber. Umber is absolutely my shade. So we're gonna move on and do that. I'm trying to put this somewhere, and I'm just gonna pump that more. And I'm just gonna tell you guys, my skin is already. I'm gonna blend that. Make sure I'm pumping the right foundation. And put the old. I almost grabbed the old one to use, but my skin is already. I already have good skin prep on, and the primer that I'm using is, as always, the blurring balm universal. Is it because it's early? I haven't had coffee yet. What's going on? Like I can barely speak. This does have fragrance. Now I feel like if you are someone that you don't like fragrance in your foundation, you probably won't like this. But I feel like that's controversial to say, but I don't be caring. Makeup is very sensorial for me. And I don't mind it having fragrance. And I think also because I'm used to like a lot of those, luxury houses, all of their fragrance, all of their foundation be heavily fragrant, y'all. And you know what? I feel like because I don't want to waste the pump I did for the lighter foundation, I'll use it on my forehead. I'm gonna contour and bronze anyway. And I would say this is a medium to buildable coverage. But you can see here, compared to my forehead, how lighter my forehead is. My coworker the other day, she was like, "So I feel like you use a darker foundation, girl. What you want me out here looking like a floating head?" I like my foundation to be closer to my neck, not exactly my neck, because as you can see, as you guys can see, I mean, there's a shadow casting, but as you can see, my chest and my face is relatively the same color. However, my neck is much darker. It's hyperpigmentation. It's just something I think I've had all my life. I don't remember at a point in my life where I'm like, oh, this emerged out of nowhere. Anyway, so I like to brighten my face with concealer and stuff like that, but I don't want my foundation to match my under eye. One, I don't put foundation under my eye because I'm going to use concealer. As you can see, it's bare. I usually stop around right here. So when I do blend my concealer, it blends seamlessly and evenly. But um, yeah, I had to tell her that. And because I don't have hair, I tend to always put foundation on my ear because it's exposed. So I try, sometimes it looks dry before makeup because I just don't want my ears oily with like my moisturizer or anything like that, because I want my foundation to adhere to my ear. Because if it's really oily, it's just gonna slip and slide and take it off. Um I don't remember the last time I put on foundation and it felt like I had foundation on. And this is the same. It feels comfortable. It doesn't, I mean, obviously, I know I just put foundation on, but it feels really good. I like the coverage of it. I'm a full glam kind of girl. I don't care what season it is. I don't care how cold, how hot it is. I'm a full glam kind of girl. Even though, when I say full glam, I mean like full beat. Okay. Because no matter how soft, neutral your glam is, it's still full glam. Anyway, y'all know what you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I love makeup. I have so much. Might as well put it on. Put that shit on. Anyway, I don't remember seeing on that. Oh my god, there was a pamphlet that came with it. I don't know what I did with it. I'm gonna maybe I'm gonna put all the claims on the screen. But right now, this feels very comfortable. I like the way it looks. Doesn't feel, it's not tugging on anything. It covers well. The reason why I'm saying this, I know this is medium because you could still see my birthmark right here. You could, I mean, if I go in more, you can still see it. I feel like it's medium to buildable, but not full coverage, which I think is the middle ground that people love. People love just a medium. Like I just said, I like a full beat. So I'm going to use. I want to see what the new one is gonna look like under. This is the concealer. It's not a new concealer. I just mean when I say new, I mean the shade. No, not right now. I'm just gonna, and you'll see the difference. You see that? It's just more neutral. Like when I do this, y'all can really see. Like this is lighter, and I feel like for someone that's a shade lighter than me, this would be a beautiful color correcting shade. I don't know if my camera is neutralizing it more or is making it look more yellow. Like I have concealers this shade and lighter than this, and I use it. But right now, I'm going to work. I don't have time to be doing extra. But you know what? I'll put that right here too, so I could just blend it together. But this is my everyday shade. Maybe that's why I'm almost out of it. I really love this concealer. This concealer and the Charlotte Tilbury concealer are like oh, they're my go-to concealer right now. So I'm just gonna add this here. And if it's not annotated on the screen when I'm editing, I promise everything that I'm using. Maybe I'll use the brighter ones. I'm gonna go in with my foundation brush to subdue this because I just tried it. I shouldn't have done that. But you guys see, this shade 4N68 is much lighter than my 4N71. I just like how neutral this is compared to this. But let's get to blending. My beauty blender is damp, like just damp. It's not wet at all. So actually, let me blend out here first and just enjoy. I'll try to read everything. If this is all over the places, because I didn't plan this, I was just like, this would be fun. Everything that they're claiming on the pamphlet, because I know it came with a pamphlet. I'll do a voiceover while I do the rest of my complexion. So just enjoy the music. Okay, so that's it for my makeup. I didn't do too much today. Believe it or not. Because usually my blush is heavier than this. I'm usually more sculpted. It's because I don't have contour on. I decided I just wanted to see how I like this look. I'm gonna go back to contouring tomorrow. But I'm gonna go get dressed and I'll check in at the end of the day. This is just a first impression. This is not like a review or anything. What I want to do in a review video is actually test these two together and to see what the difference is in whatever like they're claiming, because this was already a perfect foundation. I think I mentioned this earlier. This is like the 5th iteration of this foundation. HD Skin Balancing and Perfecting Foundation. What does this claim? Undetectable Stay True Foundation. So in a video, I would actually like to wear one on one side and one on the other, so we could really see like, is there a difference in wear and how my skin feels and longevity? Because Makeup Forever is starting to give Dior. Let me tell you something. I'm ashamed to say this, and then one of them was a gift. This is the new Dior foundation, right? We're gonna talk about this in another video because I'm looking at 1, 2. This is the difference between these two. Is it one is taller, one is not? And then I have 2 different shades of this one in the matte. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 foundation that's the same. It's the same. It's the same. I think today or before this week is over, Dior has launched new shades of their same blushes. The colors slightly differ. I'm saying this as someone that has, I think, like 6 of the shades of those blushes. Please leave us alone. Dior comes out, I feel like, with makeup bi-weekly. Doesn't it feel like that to y'all? Dior, give us a moment. Every 3 months would be nice. My gosh. And that's what I feel about this foundation with Makeup Forever. Okay. Um, you could love a brand and still be like, what y'all got going on? What do you have going on? Because I don't get it. But we're gonna see. The next clip you guys will see would be of me at the end of my day, and I'm gonna let you know how many hours it's been. Right now, it's 8:30, and I need to skedaddle on up out of here. Um, yeah. So I feel really good. This is comfortable. It wears beautifully. Well, it's feeling beautiful on my skin. I don't feel it's not clinging on to anything. It just, of course, it's fine now. I just put it on. The true test would be how I feel midday. Um, when something fails me, when something fails me and I have on the blur and balm, it's the product. It's the product. Because this, when I tell you this is the most universal primer, it works with every type of formula of foundation that I own. And I think I have like 100 foundations. I'm not proud to say that. But it works with everything. So if this don't work, that it's the new foundation. It's not the primer. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say. I think that's it. You guys will see me in the next clip and we'll talk about how this really wore, if it's a pro, if it's a con. Right now I'm giving it a good. We'll start at the midpoint. If it's like a 5 out of 5, it's a 5 right now because I just put it on and it didn't give me any issues at all whatsoever. But when we come back, really, is it gonna be a 10 out of 10 or what? Okay? All right. Hey guys. Many hours later. It is 9:12. And I think the last time I checked in before I left the house was 8:30. Um, listen, the foundation wore well. I didn't touch up. I didn't do anything. But you guys can see I look oily. Like right here. I don't usually get oily when I use the blurring balm. I just really don't. It has to be a foundation that's glowy, hydrating. I don't think I ever got oily when I've used this. But also I will say the powder I used here was the RCMA No Color powder, and I used it lightly. I didn't pack on a lot. Whatever you saw, if you thought that was a lot, that wasn't a lot. And I'm used to using I think it's the foundation though, because I don't notice when I've used my RCMA powder that I get any kind of like shine. Um, but usually I would use my Givenchy, my Huda Beauty, and or One Size. That has been the rotation of my powders. I'll use one like consistently for like 2 months, and then I use the other one. That's why nothing finished. I just need to finish one, move on to the other. Anyway, because as you can see, the other places where I use this Givenchy powder, my outer perimeter, um, I don't look as oily. I mean, yeah, I don't look as oily. Nothing was really transferring. But all of right here and a little bit right here is oily. Now, some people like like I'll show you if I go in with my beauty blender. What did I use? Like just a puff. If I try to go mattify that, let's say maybe I was out and I wanted to touch up, I can see how there's still powder residue left. I could go ahead and touch up here. You guys will see the difference in a second. I want to do my forehead too, so you can see I am oily there. It may not be as visible as this side, but you can see it. And I was too humble with my blush today. Like my makeup today was okay. I usually love more of a beat, um, but This is my first time attempting to touch it up all day since I put this foundation on. I'll say if you're someone that goes to happy hour, goes out with your friends after work, or you just have a really long working day, and you take something to touch up, this easily touched up. Nothing like you see, I didn't add any extra powder. I just used the leftover powder that's in the puff. And because when I pick up my powder, I kind of wiggle it and I saturate it a lot before I even apply it on. Because you can still see, if you see my under eye, you can still see like what I have here is powder. And that's what I love. My under eye ain't going nowhere. But you guys can see, I look glowy here. And I feel like if I didn't use the Danessa Blurring Balm, I would be much, 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 much shinier. So I think this gives what people will want in a foundation if you want like a natural, just a natural flow of your foundation. Is that how I want to say it? That's not how I want to say a natural flow. Child. If you just want like a natural finish, or some people love a glowy or a satin finish, I think that's what this foundation would give. Um, I don't see how it's really different from the previous one. Or maybe I'm not recollecting because I haven't used this foundation in a month, and I think the last time I used it, because I also got PR of this, I used the darker shade and I mixed it with something else, and I just this foundation itself, I really love. So maybe the next time I would wear them side by side just to compare, because I'll do my makeup obviously the exact same way. Um, just to see which one lasts longer. But I would say for what was that, 12 hours? 13 hours? Yeah, it's not bad. Um, like I let me add well, let me not be breaking stuff. I just feel like I always like to show with new makeup, especially with new foundation, how if you are a touch up person or you have something to do after, you could always touch it up. And I always like to show that in these first impressions, just to see how, like, if you touch it up, does your makeup break apart? And because I didn't do my powder cream powder technique, y'all see I barely have any blush here. Do you see a blush? Do you see a blush? No. And that was my focus. I was also kind of rushing. But I don't like in person, my blush looks very subtle. And there are a lot of people that like that. I like to pack that shit on. I have too much makeup to be playing it safe. And I'm gonna take a closer look just to see what that looks like. Um, if it removed anything, even though we've had this on. Oh, sorry, that was a lot of noise. Nope. I'm gonna come closer so y'all can see. And this lighting that I have up plus my shirt is casting a lot of shadows, but you can see when I turn around, my face and my chest match. You heard me earlier say I have like just really, really bad, thick, whatever, hyperpigmentation on my neck, and I think it's been there forever. I think it's been there all my life, and I have a shorter neck too, so it doesn't like look at me straight on. My neck is shorter. I feel like if my neck was longer, you wouldn't really see, like it would spread out more. Anyway, that's a different story for another day. But all in all, I would say the performance of it is a 8 out of 10. I wore this for 13 hours. I got caught in the rain earlier. It didn't disturb my makeup. It was like without an umbrella. It didn't disturb my makeup at all. Um, but I did get shiny. So I think this would work for a lot of people. And if I were to, because I'm going to wear it again, I did enjoy it. If I were to do and lock in my makeup the way I usually do, because usually there's barely anything left in here. I tend to I have a backup somewhere. I don't know what I did with it, but I know I have a backup because this is almost gone. When I use this, nothing is going nowhere. But I didn't use this today. I only used the Fenty, which I feel like a lot of people sleep on. We don't talk about that setting spray enough. I really like it. Even though I think I didn't shake it properly earlier today and it left a couple of specks, I finished this. So I use a combination of setting sprays and my makeup does not budge. It does not budge because I'm not someone to touch up my makeup. And these are usually my work days, including commute to work if I don't drive to work, um, and commute back home. So you can see that we can touch it up without it giving us any issues. It didn't cling on, it didn't remove anything. We applied blush, I mattified it again without having to fix anything. So I would give it a solid 8.5. And I'm not giving it a 10 because what is the, what is the difference? Like I said, I think the true test of me knowing what the difference is in performance and how it wears and how comfortable it feels, because right now I don't feel uncomfortable. Um, I just want to be able to compare it side by side. And I'm actually going to do my method of how I want, because I want to give this foundation a chance. I'm always of the belief, because as a makeup artist, I know this. Just because something doesn't work for me doesn't mean it's a bad product. And this worked for me, but I'm just saying, a lot of the times when newer things come out, people don't try it multiple times, or you don't use it the way the brand intends it to be used, and people say it's a bad product, and when it's really user error. So I want to be able to I'm gonna try with my one size powder and or my Huda and do a side by side. I'll pick one powder. I'm not gonna pick one or the other. I'll pick one powder to lock it in, and my Givenchy always locks stuff in as well, and my setting spray to mattify things. For the past couple of days, like the other day was 97 degrees, and then yesterday and today's been rainy and in the 50s. What's going on? Can somebody explain what's going on? Anyway, it's spring. This is what spring weather does. Better get you some good rain boots if you're in a weather like this in the East Coast, and a great raincoat. If y'all know where I can get a sturdy, I don't care about the price. I mean, I do, but I would rather get something that's amazing quality if the price makes sense. It got to make sense. I'm a little bushy and I can afford certain things, but got to make sense. um, but yeah, it's a good foundation. I feel like, do we need this? No, no, no. If you already have foundations in your arsenal that you know you love, you don't need this. You don't need this. But I always say, when newer things come out like this, like a refresh of something, or maybe you've just been having issues with the way your current foundation is performing, because I can't expect everyone or y'all to have as much foundations as I have. Half of my foundations, I bought half of them is PR, gifted and stuff like that. So I don't expect people to have as much makeup as I have. And because I have so much makeup, I always put that shit on, like I said earlier. But I also want to be honest. I don't care if a brand sent it to me, if I bought it with my own money. We didn't need this. This became, I mean, I don't remember when they came out with this, but this is, the OG was a classic and then they reformulated. And this formula is also really, it's beautiful. And the newer one that they just came out with also wore beautifully. So I just, we won't be able to tell the true test until we have both of them together. But what I was going to say, the point I was going to make is, unless you feel like you wanted maybe a newer foundation, a summer foundation, it did go on lightweight. It was a medium coverage. It didn't feel heavy. I'm just trying to remember everything when I put it on. I just felt like, wow, this felt really comfortable. Um, and I felt that throughout the day. Like when I was checking in, I was like, oh, wow, this looks nice. It felt comfortable. But also, like, I felt like my makeup is not the way I usually do my makeup. I usually contour and I do a structure because my face is round. I structure I like to look snatched and beat. Okay. But I wanted to give this foundation a fair shot. And if I feel like, okay, because now I'm just rambling. I feel like if I only had maybe one or two foundations and I picked this up and the way it wore today, I would really love it. But I have so many other foundations. And because I still, the fact that I feel like I use this a lot, well, maybe not as much as I thought I did, and I still have a lot left. And from then till now, they've come out with a new one. We got to slow down. We got to slow down. Or it had to have been something so different because I also have the hydrating version of this somewhere. With the one with the white cap. I know I do. I can't see it in front of me, but I know I do. But it's like I want to get a chance to be able to like enjoy something halfway through before you come out with a new formula. Okay? What you call this foundation? Our classic has been in almost everybody's arsenal gadgetry of makeup is the luminous silk. That thing ain't been reformulated in so long. They had the power fabric. Now the power fabric during the summertime, it's down. If you're a full coverage girl like me, okay. But that's what I want from brands. If you're gonna give us other things, or just stick to your classic. Your classic becomes a classic for a reason. But if every 3 years or every 4 years we're reformulating something we already love, uh, where's the brand trust? Because I already trust you to give me something amazing. What did you add in this? And I'm tired of skincare in my makeup. Oh my God. If y'all hear that, I'm gonna try to noise cancel it. My brother's watching wrestling. Anyway, or MMA. One of those sports, whatever. Yeah, I just feel like this didn't change the game, but as a standalone, if I had nothing to compare with, it did wear beautifully. I want to give it a chance and be honest. It's a beautiful foundation. It wore beautifully. But why do we need this new iteration is my question. Like, why do we need it? And like I said, putting stop putting a bunch of random skincare ingredients because it's hot right now into foundation. I hate it so much, y'all. I hate it. Either give us something matte, something hydrating for the dry skin people, and call it a day. There are a lot of clients that are now allergic to foundations they've loved in the past, and now that it's reformulated, it got niacinamide, it got this, it got that. Oh my God. Stop it. Also, I know people get probably gonna give me a side eye. I hate, I despise, I own a couple, but I despise SPF and foundations. Oh my God. Your foundation expires faster because of the SPF, because SPF expires faster. Hello? Just, I will wear my SPF. I have a lot of SPF. I will wear my SPF, then I wear my foundation. I just don't like, and it ruins, I feel like, a lot of good formulation. Like if you notice, um there are no SPF in the 500 range of the Lancome foundations because, listen, shout out to Lancome and their foundation line. Anyway, um I've said all I needed to say. um I really do want to make, and I think I am, I want us to be able to see the difference between the previous, because my brain keeps saying the OG formula, but it's not the OG formula. Child, this is I think this is like the fourth one, and the new one is the fifth one. Child, who knows? Or maybe the third one. Whatever. I want to be able to use all the things that I know locks in my makeup if I needed to wear it for 16 hours. Like if I were on set and I know I could be here for 16 hours, that's what I want to be able to test for both of them and just see how they both compare. But I think that's it. I've said all I needed to say. I can't wait to try it again. And I don't know what else to say. Anyway, that's it. That's it. That's it. I'm trying to figure out anything else. You see me in my next one.